Hey everyone, great work again on Unit 1. I've been finishing up all of my scoring of your work for that unit. I apologize for the bit of confusion about how Unit 1 is different than what will be happening in Units 2 through 6. The whole idea was that Units 2 through 6 are all structured exactly the same. Unit 1's a bit different because we're doing different things, has different objectives, introducing us to the course and to what the study of history is all about, for example. So the requirements for the tweets, the discussions, and so on were different, and I didn't always make that as clear as I had hoped. So I'll work on that for the next time around. Um, you're doing great work. Our discussions about what history is all about were very insightful, I think. I tried to ask follow-up questions to as many of you as I could. So if you're so inclined, please reply. I think that'll help us to think more deeply about the materials that we're going to be working on over the next couple of weeks. Many of you are also already doing very well in your discussions of the material on Twitter. Of course, those are very brief comments and discussions, but hopefully they help us get our feet wet and get you in a place where you can also work on the course timeline um, and on whatever my mind is blanking on the discussions that you'll have to choose four of for this term. If you have questions, as always, please ask. I wanted to make one clarification or just a comment about the journal entries. The idea with those is to complete them toward the end of the unit. And I understand many of you, like me, work in the morning rather than in the evening. Many of you work in the evening. And so you'll have to kind of work with the way our schedules can sometimes be different. But toward the end of the unit, even if it's just toward the beginning of the second day of the unit, so the second day of Unit 2 will be tomorrow, you will already have access to everyone's posts, their ID posts on the timeline, so that you can start to write your journal entry there. So when I talk about that second paragraph where you're supposed to be looking at the timeline, I mean specifically the course timeline. It's just another step in that assignment trying to evaluate what it is that we can learn about the past by, or about New Mexico's past specifically, by placing events in that format. Um, what added insights do you get by looking at events placed together on the timeline that you might not have quite realized through the other materials that we used for the unit? Hopefully, there are insights that you can gain from that timeline. So it's just at a step of evaluating our work that we're doing together as a class there. And the whole idea of the journal entries is to be very specific, use examples from the readings in your overall evaluation of what it is that you learned during this specific unit that we're working on. Hopefully that actually adds some clarification. It doesn't make the waters muddier. Either way, let me know, ask questions, and I am enjoying our class so far and look forward to continuing.